Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel for another vegan and gluten-free recipe. Today I'm making this batch of flourless black bean brownies. Some of you may have noticed I've been on quite a dessert streak lately. I recently made chocolate chip cookies, I made red velvet cake for my 31st birthday, I made a Ben & Jerry's vegan ice cream scoop short, and very soon I'll be making something extra sweet for my 1K subscriber special because at the time of filming this episode, I am so very close to reaching 1,000 subscribers. Anyways, let's get to the details of these flourless black bean brownies. There's 9 beautiful ingredients going into the brownies, so let's go through each of them one by one super quickly. First up, as you may have guessed, there's one 15-ounce can of cooked black beans. I'll be draining this out and rinsing the beans thoroughly. There's also 1/2 cup of quick oats, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 cup of pure maple syrup, 1/4 cup of coconut oil, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and finally 1/2 cup of these vegan dark chocolate chips, plus a handful to sprinkle on top of the brownies. Now let's go through the 8 steps of the recipe I'm following. It's linked below. It's courtesy of Chocolate Covered Katie. I recently featured another recipe of hers when I made those chocolate chip cookies. I'll link that episode up here in case you didn't see it. I cannot recommend her enough when it comes to vegan desserts, and especially those of you who, like me, are absolute chocoholics. For step number 1, I'm going to drain and rinse the 15 ounces of black beans. For step number 2, I'll combine all of the ingredients except for the chocolate chips in a large glass bowl. For step number 3, I'll take that mixture in the glass bowl and I'll pulse it down in batches in my food processor, and I've got that sitting right over here all ready to go. And I should mention here that in the Chocolate Covered Katie recipe, you actually add all those ingredients minus the chocolate chips into the food processor chamber and then pulse everything down together. But I just don't think that my food processor is big enough to handle all of the ingredients at once, so that's why I'm going to combine everything in a bowl first and then pulse it down into batches. And I definitely am going to make sure that I pulse down the batches until everything is looking really smooth, because honestly, who wants bean chunks in their brownies? For step number 4, I'll combine all of those pulsed batches into a bowl and mix in the chocolate chips. For step number 5, I'll pour the brownie batter into a greased 8 by 8 inch brownie pan. For step number 6, I'll place the brownie pan into my oven and bake the brownies for 15 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. For step number 7, I'll remove the brownie pan from my oven, place it on top of my stovetop, and let the brownies cool off for about 15 minutes. And for step number 8, I'll cut the brownies out of the pan, dish them up on a plate for you to see up close, dig into at least one of them, but honestly probably 2 to 3, and let you know what I think. Now that we've gone over the ingredients and recipe steps for these flourless black bean brownies, let's get started with step number 1, which is to drain and rinse these black beans. Let's get rocking and rolling with these black bean brownies. I let the brownies sit and cool for actually quite a bit of time, way longer than 15 minutes, because I wanted to be able to set the glass on my countertop. So now let's get them removed from this brownie pan, and the chocolate chips look so cute on the top of this. I feel like once you get one out, the rest come out so easy. Wow, these have settled so nicely. They're really coming out of the pan super easy. Okay, let's get you the close-up of these beanie brownies. What I was reading on Chocolate Covered Katie's website was that whenever she serves these brownies, no one is able to guess that there's beans in them if they didn't know before eating them. And there's something so satisfying about that to me. I love when you can not mask health food, but just incorporate it into traditionally not very redeeming foods. And yes, these brownies do have quite a bit of sugar, but hey, they do have black beans as well. And now it's time to dig into one of these. I'm gonna take a nice, decent sized brownie with some chocolate chips on the top. So let's take a bite of these and see what they're like. Ooh, oh my gosh, those are so good. They're incredibly chocolatey, and I am just a chocolate fiend. I love anything with chocolate. Anytime I'm picking out a dessert item for myself, chocolate always will win. Whether it's ice cream, cake, cupcakes, cheesecake, you name it, it's gotta be chocolate. As I was eating that brownie, I was wondering what was making it so moist as I bit into it, and I really think it's the coconut oil because they're not greasy, but biting into it, I was like, wow, these aren't dry at all. They hold together nicely. I really think going forward, I wanna make brownies with black beans. Thinking about how I usually make brownies, it's flour, it's sugar, there's a lot of simple carbs. You know, it's not the best for you, and I'm not saying these are like perfect healthy food, but if you can get some protein in there and it's in the form of a whole food like black beans, why not? Just getting them in a nice chocolatey brownie is probably my favorite way of eating black beans, tied with Chipotle. Well, everyone, that concludes this delightful black bean brownie recipe. I really had such a fun time making these. If you like this recipe and are thinking of other desserts you'd like to try, I have a couple linked for you at the very end of this video. One of them is a chocolate tofu pie. It might sound a little weird that there's tofu going into a chocolate pie, but hey, these have black beans in them and you'd never know. And the second recipe I've linked for you is chocolate peanut butter no-bake cookies. So those do have protein from the peanut butter. Those chocolate peanut butter no-bake cookies are a little more traditional than these black bean brownies or the chocolate tofu pie, because I feel like most people growing up have made or have heard of drop cookies. Those ones are super easy. They're made with oats and I believe coconut oil as well. So you've got a couple of options waiting for you at the end of this video. Check either or both of them out. I think you'll enjoy. That's everything I have to share with you today. So take care, my lovely foodies, eat well, and I will see you in the next episode on this channel. Bye!
Unported.